Hello, this is Dr. Sonia Stribling, and welcome back to the Wisdom Vault, the hard truth about success. Now, I'm going to become a little vulnerable in this moment, and this is my truth, and I hope that it helps you or someone else. And if you know it's going to help someone else, go ahead and share it with them. The hard truth about success, when years ago when I got started, it was great to be known. It was great to be applauded. It was great to be celebrated. But what I realized, the more I did, the more I was on social media, the more I was out and about, speaking on stages, writing books, being on television, the more people began to know who I was. And I honestly thought, see, that was my level of success, more people knowing you. And you're getting bigger and your brand's getting bigger. But what I didn't realize is there would be moments that I would be out and about, in the mall, shopping, minding my own business, and someone coming up in the midst of me in a thought of what am I going to wear for this next event, and saying, hey, are you? And you pause for a moment as you smile and you think, if you answer yes, will they want a picture? Will they want to talk? Will they want to tell you their entire life story when all you wanted to do was be out and about? You smile again, and they say your name, and you say yes. And now you're trying to figure out, how do I respectfully say, I'm just trying to have some time to myself. I give so much of myself to the world. Now this is my pastime. Can you imagine having to go through that and beginning to feel guilty about sharing with people that you just want some alone time? The hard truth about success, it's no longer your life anymore. I know. Most folks like people should mind their business. They absolutely should. However, when you sign up for this, what I realized, your life is no longer your life and your privacy is no longer yours. Let's just use _Beyonce, for example. You don't see them out, her family, her kids per se, out and about just loosely. You don't, because there's so many people that are either going to take a picture or that may want to harm her or may want to ask her questions and all of that. And simply because you put yourself in the forefront doesn't necessarily mean that everybody gets in your space all the time. The hard truth about success. Sometimes you just don't want to talk to people. Sometimes you just want to smile and say thank you so much without being criticized later for, she didn't speak to anybody, she didn't do that. That's one of the biggest things that I deal with right now. I want to be respectful of other people and say thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it, because I do. I wouldn't be where I am without, one, me doing the work, but two, those who celebrate me along the way. The hard truth about success. Two, sometimes you don't want to do this. Just sometimes you just don't want to. Not every single morning I wake up and say, you know what? Today I'm going to be at 100. I'm going to give it my all. Some days I don't want to give it my all. Some days I want to sit on my couch. Shh, don't tell anybody. My favorite thing to do is to be in my pajamas, in my bedroom, on the couch. I got about 4 pair of pajamas, depending on the flannel ones, the soft, silky ones. I just want to sit and relax. Maybe it's because I'm getting older, or it's maybe because I give so much of myself out there when I'm at home. I just want to be in pajamas and relaxing. The hard truth about success. 3, people think that you're going to be perfect every single time. Now, for me, I had to get over that real quick. I'll let somebody know in a heartbeat. I'm not going to be perfect. I'm not always going to be made up. Now, I'll make sure my hair is together when I'm out and about. I may not have on makeup. I may not have on a suit. I may not have on heels. I'm still a real person. So the truth about success, that many that are successful at some point in time, maybe not all, but if I was a betting woman, many people went through the process of thinking they had to be perfect. The hard truth about success. That you think about, if I make a mistake, who's going to be there? Because what happens is everybody celebrates you. Everybody is celebrating you when you're doing the right thing according to them. But when you don't, case in point, You can go look back over social media, YouTube, and all the pastors that fell by the wayside because of the mistakes they made. Because of the position that they're in, people hold them at high regards. And so as soon as they do something that was sinful, people just throw them away. Or they criticize and they judge. One of the things I like to say, there's so many people on the other side of the camera judging other people. And the only reason why we don't know what they're doing is because they're not in front of a camera and they're not being exposed, but we don't know what's happening behind the curtain. It's more about minding your business. And if you're not going to mind your business, at least behind your curtain, make sure your stuff is dressed right, as we say in the military. Everything is right, which is almost, I would say, impossible for anyone to be perfect. The hard truth about success. At some point in time, I can recall thinking, how long is this going to last? Not how long do I want it to last, but how long is the speaking on stages going to last? How long is the writing best-selling books going to last? How long is $1 million days going to last? How long is having a fashion brand and line going to last? But more importantly, how long do I really want to do this? And so I started thinking, even to this very moment, the hard truth about success is that at one point it may end, and you get to decide how it ends. If you're listening to this video right now and you're in this place, maybe you're afraid of success, of failing, but maybe you're more afraid of succeeding, which both are real things and real places to be in. But you get to decide how you live this life. And one thing I didn't say that I must say in here, it is the real truth, the hard truth about success. It is called anxiety. This is the part that I believe that many don't talk about. And I've spoken to some of the best speakers that are out there. And I'll just quote, I saw something about 𝐕𝐢𝐝𝐿. He's not on social media as much or at all, simply because he deals with social anxiety. I didn't know what that was back then, but I know what it is today. My definition of social anxiety is being out in the forefront and everybody wanting to talk to you, especially if you're a person that is known for helping other people. Most people think that they can come and just share their story. I call it bleed all over you the very first time they meet you, whether it's, hey, a thank you, which is great. But the hard truth about success, sometimes you don't want to hear all of that. And it's not that you're being mean. People just don't know what's going on in your mind. Maybe there was an argument with your spouse. Maybe your kids are going through something. Maybe something happened with your finances. Maybe this happened. And it's always about being respectful of other people's time and of their space. I know for me, social anxiety is a real thing. And I deal with that to this day. I cope with it the best way I know how. I make sure I have someone with me at all times. And I used to criticize those folks who had bodyguards with them. This is just my truth. This is me being very vulnerable. I used to laugh at them. They don't need all that. Why are you trying to be so such and much? Why are you trying to be bigger than what you are? And it's not because there's some weird people out there, but it is just sometimes people want to bombard your space, and some people don't have the respect for other people's space. The hard truth about success, it is that you get to define the life and the lifestyle that you have, but you also have to work through this process of being the person you've become for that level of success. This is Dr. Sonia. I'll see you on the next Wisdom Vault.